Hello, and welcome to another online session of the Acuity STAR application for the Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry. My name is Paul Malcolmson, and in this session we will be walking through adding clinical teaching activities for a faculty member. So I've already accessed the system, logged in, navigated to the teaching activities, and clicked on the clinical teaching section. You can see that I already have a record entered into the system, and you're always welcome to clone this record. Cloning is a very, very effective way to speed up data entry for getting information into the system. But in this example, I'm going to click Add New. So clicking Add New on a record, and I've got my data entry screen. So picking the values that show up here, they are department specific, but typically for clinical teaching you'll see values like attending on a clinical teaching unit, attending on a subspecialty clinical teaching unit, or maybe outpatient in a private office, the kind of things that would involve a clinical setting. So in this example, I'm going to select outpatient in a private office, and then selecting the level. Typically we'll see graduate, postgraduate, and undergraduate, so this would be the type of teaching or the level of teaching that you performed at, or the audience was part of. And then adding the start and end dates. So if we were to look at adding the academic year that just finished. So if this is something that happened last year, then we'd put the academic year. You can indicate specific days or specific ranges. However, you also are able to put in things that span an entire academic year. Selecting the faculty, typically that would be Schulich, and then the department, and in this case I will select surgery, and then the division if it's applicable to your department. And then we've got the types of information that are listed here are the types of students and how long everything took. So in this case, outpatient in a private office, 1 week. Let's say that was maybe 25 hours. You taught it 3 times across the course of this academic year. So again, this is an important note to match, or to match them up. If you are spanning one record across an academic year, the total effort will be the product of those two. And we've already selected postgraduate, so in this case we'd put maybe there were 5 postgraduate students. You do also have the ability to record how many clinical elective students that might have been part of the session. And then in the comments, you can put any of the specifics. This is a little bit of a narrative where you're able to put things that you might have accomplished. So your learning goals, examples, generic information about the types of patients, or learning outcomes, or the topics covered. This is obviously a section where you have a little bit of freedom to put a narrative of the things that you've entered into the system. You can also record it as a draft entry, which would just mean that you might want to go back and review it later, and then you're effectively done with this record. So clicking on Save will save that record, and you will notice a second record will show up under the clinical teaching section. Hopefully this helps you with entering clinical teaching, and as usual, or as always, you're able to contact your STAR coordinator for additional information or resources about entering this information in. Thanks, have a great day.